Welcome, jesters. Sorry, I can't tell if it's just allergies or if I have plague. Either way, lines. Our friends on the left are having a tizzy about lines, specifically lines for food banks and things like that. They keep showing, lines of people lined up, lines of cars lined up or whatever, in order to get something from a food bank. Now, let's set aside the recipients complaining about what they get and ask ourselves a question. Okay, what's the difference? What is the difference between people lining up at a food bank to get supplemental nutrition versus people lining up at Wal-Mart to get supplemental nutrition? It's still a line. You still have to, in most cases, these people, they still have to drive to Walmart, go out and pick their stuff, get in line, and then, they receive their supplemental nutrition. Okay, is the point not to just get them supplemental nutrition? Okay, what is the difference? What is the difference between standing in line at a food bank and standing in line at a Walmart? Yet our friends on the left act like this is some national catastrophe, that people have to stand in this line versus this line. I don't get it. They're still getting the food that they need. And quite frankly, I think the way it's working right now with the food banks, the people that actually need it are getting the food. Let's be honest about that. Now, this just leads into, let's just remind everybody, put it that way, the left doesn't care about these people. They don't actually care about the program. They don't care about people getting supplemental nutrition or anything like that. This is just another Democrat, or leftist really, dependency scheme, right? Their biggest problem with the current situation with the food banks, is not that people are getting food, right? It's that they don't control the food that they're being given. They can't claim credit for people getting the food. The politicians have really nothing to do with this, and they can't stand that, right? Let's be realistic. They want the dependent voters. This is pervasive among leftist philosophy, leftist policy, leftist action in our government right now. They want these people dependent on them, or they want these people thinking that they're dependent on these benevolent politicians for food. It's a vote buying scheme. Now, here's the thing. Food banks have existed forever, right? Except they have really never been, they pop into the media only once in a while, during certain times of the year, Thanksgiving and things like that. So realistically, the people of this country are already equipped to provide supplemental nutrition assistance to people who need it. And various charitable organizations, primarily churches, have been doing this for a long time. So we are ready. The people are stepping up. The people that our friends on the left claim to care about are actually stepping up and providing this supplemental nutrition in really no strings attached. The food banks don't get anything out of this. They don't get a vote or anything like that. They just distribute food to the people who need it. That's kind of how it should be done. Good people, the good citizens, taking care of each other. And our friends on the left, the Democrats, they absolutely cannot stand that. Now, I think this is a good thing. I think the lines for the food banks are a great thing because it shows that people are taking care of each other. And our friends on the left, rather than talk about how great America is or great Americans are for doing this, no. They're just throwing a fit because they're not in control. And they might lose votes over this. That the people are acting independently without their direction. That they might behave in a way that they don't approve of. Republicans, GOP, you should be talking about how wonderful a thing this is. I know it's tough to talk about how wonderful food lines are, but you just have to frame it correctly. Americans are stepping up. Americans are taking care of one another. That is a great thing. The people are taking care of each other. That's your angle. Why are you not doing this? We genuinely could. Well, okay. I know there's people who think SNAP is a good deal. I'm not one of them. But still, it's something we can talk about. Something we can maybe compromise a little, tiny bit on. But as it stands right now, the American people are doing the right thing. And I would much rather live in a society that is based on freedom and charity versus government authoritarianism and welfare. And I'm right.